Yeah.
First kick, I snap into action. When I'm digging in the trenches, get dominated off the line of scrimmage. Read and react quick to make an early diagnosis. Hit you with the quick release like Marino Danny dopeness. Explosive change of direction in the true essence of Reggie Bush. From JT and ZT to DVP and AVG. Terminator to a quarterback, Hunter JP. Steve Ross, the boss, King Flow, and card slinging, gambling genius, Slick Chris Greer.
Hey, happy fantastic Friday to you, Justin, and everyone out there on Dolphin Island. I hope you all are having a great Friday, getting ready for a good NFL weekend. So how you doing, Justin?
Man, I'm doing good, man. It was a rough night here. Didn't get a lot of sleep with 50-mile-an-hour winds whistling through over
Oh,
here, man. It's
wow.
like everything's just kind of like rattling around the house. I'm just like, but other than that, man, I'm ready to go talk some fins. Pretty excited about the game moving forward. I hope everybody out there is enjoying your morning, having a nice Friday. Sit back, talk some Dolphins with us. Hopefully we get some of you guys in here to give us some comments, maybe your takes on what you think about the upcoming game and the football team in general, man. I'm pretty fired up. How about yourself? I'm sure you're ready for this game this weekend
No,
already,
I've
right?
been ready. I've been ready. This is the 3 game stretch that I circle on the calendar to start the season, saying we're going to know if we're pretenders or contenders, as I've been saying all week. This is the
Absolutely.
game. This is the next 3 weeks, and the Bills looked good last night. I don't know if you
Yeah.
had time to catch any of that game, but the Bills looked solid. New England didn't look so you could say that because we got them on the slate coming up too. But it looked like Buffalo kind of got back doing their thing last night.
Yeah,
So,
they look good, man.
good morning, Ender. Thank you for joining us, and thank
Ender,
you for
what's up, buddy?
subscribing. You rock. You're the best. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Ender.
Thumbs up to you.
Fins up, buddy.
And yeah. So this is a really tough game. That's why it's still a great, fantastic Friday. So, but yeah, our strength on offense matches their strength on defense. So it's strength versus strength because we love hitting those immediate routes in the middle of the field, and they love taking those away. They're the best at taking it away, and we're the best at getting them. So it's going to be see who's going to win that battle, or can the Dolphins adjust and hit them from another angle like you think they might do, or do we just play hard-headed and say, well, this is our best, we're going to hit them with our best? Hopefully it's a good mix of everything so they don't know what the heck's coming. Hey, good morning, Steve. Good morning.
Morning, Steve. Love having
As
you guys
always,
here.
fins up on this fantastic Friday, Steve.
Yep.
So,
like you were just talking about right there, how the battle's going to be. I seen some sort of article on there where it said it's a battle of strength versus power, but
right.
it's derived from the same scheme. So we are running the same basically scheme at each other, like a mirrored image of scheme, but their building blocks and like the way they built their rosters with power, and the way we built ours is with speed.
Right.
And I'll be honest with you, if I was the guy to pick one or the other, I'm taking the speed. And the reason why I'm taking the speed is because speed kills. And
No,
on
speed does kill. You
on a
can't
football
teach
field,
speed.
yeah,
Right, I know.
you just can't
I know.
teach that stuff.
I know, it's great. So we should see. And like I said, I do think we will mix it up. We're not only going to go over because we know that's their strength. So we will show them some of that, but then we're also going to open up the playbook, I think, some, and try to get maybe a little farther down the field or hit some out routes. And it should be a fun game, man. I mean, it's too good to me. It's two good quality teams going against each other.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I mean, like,
a couple of a little more tidbits. Do you see, like, after this week, because after this week the game's already been flexed on Sunday night against the Chargers, but then they're talking about we could be another Sunday night against the Bills, or possibly moving that game to the Saturday. If one had to take the other, I'd rather take the Sunday night. That's going to be a brutal atmosphere because but I don't want to be moved to Sunday because we're already playing on late Sunday night game on the West Coast and have to fly back and then play one day earlier. Not making excuses, but that's rough when you're going against your division rival. So I would rather just hopefully the Dolphins keep that game on the Sunday against the Bills, no matter what time slot. But that's looking way down the road. We got the 49ers this week, and we get bullied if the team's looking forward. But I don't think they are. They seem like ready to go, and they all know, what's at stake this year finally for the Dolphins. So
yeah, it looked last night like just to touch back a little bit on that Bills-Patriots from last night, it looked a little bit to me like the Patriots are just really out of sync. They don't look like they got their shit together at all from a defensive standpoint or an offensive standpoint.
No, you saw their star quarterback getting upset during the game.
It was pretty bad.
Star quarterback, but he had. He's been okay. I'm not going to knock him because I don't like people knocking Tua or whatever, but you could definitely see he was struggling last night and they were frustrated. So I don't know if that's just them being, like you say, frustrated, or did the Bills just really play that well? So I think the Bills might be getting back on track, unfortunately for us.
I think it's a combination of both those things you were just talking about. Another snidbit I'm sure the whole world already knows, and too, the Buffalo Bills put Von Miller on the injured reserve list. That was yesterday. That's basically the biggest news we have over in Dolphins land as well today. But I mean, that does change the dynamics of their team just a little bit. Will other guys like AJ Epinesa and Shaq Lawson and Ed Oliver for them step up? Hell yeah, they know they're going to be called upon now too. But this does put a little damper on what they're trying to do. I heard a little bit of talk that he's probably going to miss our game. And we'll see. Yeah, the Bills are definitely playing well. They're definitely playing good football. It's the better team.
When they played against the Lions, I was thinking, maybe they're not as good as we thought. But then last night I think they kind of answered the critics because they've probably been hearing people say, "Oh, they're not as good as they thought." And I think last night they kind of showed the nation again. So it's gonna be tough. I'm not too worried about that game yet because we got a couple more games. Because if we lose the next two, that game really loses its meaning as far as the division. So you got to take one game at a time, and it's great. So a little side note, did you see where Mike Florio came out with that article saying that Jimmy G was telling people that the Dolphins were one of the teams interested, and that was even after the Dolphins hired McDaniel. So do you think there's much validity in that, or is it just more like another player kind of throwing fire into Tua, they're finally getting rid of it, and then you hear 49ers and Dolphins were talking. But I mean, Florio did admit he doesn't know how serious, doesn't know if it was for a backup. I can't imagine it was for a backup since, they would have had to pay so much to get him. So I think it's a little just him trying to get clicks, but, you never know. I mean, Jimmy G did say it, but.
Oh, man. In my opinion, the way I always view things like that, like trades or trade rumors or anything like that, is where there's smoke, there's fire. And if they're talking about it and bringing it up, I mean, just think about trades and stuff that you hear in the media and stuff. 70% of the time, that probably transpires and it goes down. That's the way I view it. And I do put some validity behind it. I honestly think they were having some discussions on bringing Jimmy here to play backup quarterback. Would you rather have Jimmy G or would you rather have Teddy Bridgewater? Because I'll be honest with you. I'd take Jimmy G all day.
If it was for backup, I 100% agree that then it would have been a good move. I mean, but of course, you would have had to pay him up the yin-yang to be your backup, and it would have been very short term, but, then you would have had to move him.
Yep.
But, anyway, now I'm going to get back. I was just wondering, it's just funny that we're playing them this week and then that comes out. But I guess mainly it probably came out because of, we're playing them this week. So,
I mean, his salary, I think this season is like, what, $16 million, $18 million?
Yeah, I know.
It's up
they
there.
worked something out, which is funny for them. I'm sure they're happy they did because before, Lance went down hurt, they were like cheating Jimmy G like the redheaded stepchild. They said, "Oh, go practice over there," and then he got in there. "Oh, maybe Jimmy G is not so bad. Come back, we love you." And they're lucky because they're a solid team because they kept him around. They're lucky.
Exactly.
If they had pulled a deal and traded him off, they'd be hurting right now. They'd be looking like the Broncos, basically. So it's just like he's definitely good. So, guys, let me know in comments if you're out there. Let me know how my connection, because all of a sudden I'm getting a Wi-Fi warning and we lost some people out there. It looks like we had like 4 or 5 people in.
Yeah, you look a little wonky.
Oh man, that's thing. I don't understand.
It's all good. It comes and goes.
Was all good, but yeah, it's saying my internet's unstable. But anyway, we lost 4 people, so that stinks. But anyway, let's go back onto the Dolphins. So this week, like you said, it hasn't been much new Dolphin news coming out.
But not a lot.
other than like Armstead, we don't know still. I haven't seen any updated other than he still aims to play. I haven't seen anything.
I have. He's actually doubtful is what they have on the the ESPN blotter right now.
Yeah, I did
for the
see
game.
that, but I haven't seen him ruled as out. But
he's not doubtful. Ruled out. Yep.
Yeah, he's been ruled out. I mean, he's been doubtful almost basically the whole week since last week. But but I would still say he's doubtful for this week. Maybe like Steve had mentioned, earlier in the week that, there's no reason to rush him if it's worth risking. Now, if the doctors are saying there's no risk of further injury, it's going to be the same whether he plays this week or next week, then whatever.
Throw him out there.
Yeah, throw him out. But I did see that he was doubtful. That is correct. But
yeah, I've seen the same thing. What I was thinking too is they got a couple guys. I heard Christian McCaffrey said he's going to play. Eric Armstead said he's going to play as well. So they're getting some players that are dealing with injuries that are going to be coming back and playing for them. That's great. Good for them. We got some guys who were nicked up too that are maybe ready to play too, like Armstead. We never know what's really going to happen with that. I think that'll go all the way up into a game time situation.
Yeah, no, it was going to be a game day decision for sure. And it looked like Mozart will play though.
Mostert's going to play. Yeah, that's what I heard. Yeah,
and that's good. I mean, that helps definitely. We need Mozart playing because you see the difference. Because I think it's good because Wilson's really good, and all of us were starting to already say, "Oh, Mozart's not as needed as Wilson," because Wilson had that bang out game against the Browns. But you saw this week without Mozart, it's definitely a difference because you give him a little different dynamic. Mozart's a little quicker if the line is struggling to bang in there and get. Wilson's good at finding the zone run and going, but if the line's not blocking well, then there's no lane to find. It's a little bit different, So you definitely need both of them in. And the scary thing is, next year the Dolphins don't have anyone on their contract, so
none of them,
not at running back. But I think that Gaskins and Ahmed would be the odd man out, and somehow they have to find Wilson and Mozart to come back next year. Would be my guess, and then just find lower round guys like they always do in the draft to replace the other guys, because the Dolphins don't. I mean, unless they go out and draft, this year, which they haven't proved that they've been willing to do, draft a running back in a higher round, like the second round, or so that it remains to be seen. But the Dolphins under Greer's leadership haven't seemed to be like too concerned with putting a big emphasis on a high profile running back. Whether right or wrong, it's just they don't seem to have the philosophy of getting that big high-profile running back.
Yeah, their philosophy and Chris Greer's philosophy has been like that for years as he kind of gets like cheapskatey on the offensive line and on the running backs and doesn't go after high-value draft choices. And his theory on that is that he thinks the offensive line should be able to block good for just an average running back, and the offensive line turn that average running back into a great running back. But I don't have that same theory or same belief. I think that you need both to match. I think you need a good offensive line, and you need a good running back that has great vision, great patience, and runs well behind his pads. Like for me, the first thing when I look at when a running back is his vision and the way he presses the hole. Like if he presses it really well and like gets up into every little bit he can get, that's the guy I want. Like, there's some guys coming out of the draft I'm really interested in, and then there's some guys I'm like, maybe. We'll see.
Any good value like in the second or third round, you think?
Yeah,
that's where it'll be.
Absolutely, dude. There's Zach Charbonnet, they call him the Terminator out of UCLA. I really like Zach Charbonnet.
Oh, we like our, guys from out west,
And then there's another.
We like our running back from UCLA and out west out there.
Yep. So. Absolutely. There's another kid too, Sean Williams, my buddy Sean. He really likes his kid, Sean Tucker, out of Syracuse. I like him too. He's a little bit quicker than Charbonnet, but Charbonnet is a great speed-power combination, which is what I'm looking for. Right. Then you obviously got that Jamar Gibbs kid out of Alabama who's really fast. Kind of reminds me of like a little knockoff version of Alvin Kamara. I think he'd be pretty sweet to have in the backfield as well. But I think his value is a little higher. But there's running backs for days in this draft coming up.
Okay, so I know we're jumping way ahead. Just I was just wondering. I just know that you do all your draft work all year long to get ready.
Oh yeah.
So I wanted to give you a little shout to show all your knowledge on that.
Oh yeah, man. There'll be more to come.
I know. But anyway, so back to this game Sunday. Nick Bosa and all these guys, their strength it's also kind of matches our weakness if Armstead's not in there. So that's because we talked about the strength versus strength, like immediate passing game, that we like taking the middle of the field. They like taking the middle of the field away. So it's going to be speed versus power there. But there's like no sugarcoating it, try to make it look nice. If Armstead's out, Bosa's going to be a nightmare matchup for the Dolphins. So do you think they may go with some double tight end or use Alec Ingo more this week or something is what you would probably, I know McDaniel's not calling and say, hey, Justin, what do you think I should do? But that's what you think based on what you would probably do.
Based from what I've seen on film and what other teams, the way they attack that situation, which I'll probably bring some of that to Saturday's show with Reggie. I think they're going to do the same thing everybody else is doing is they're going to use some 12 formations. They're going to use a little bit of 13 formations. If Armstead is out there, you'll see some 11 formations. Right. I think they'll use a little bit of everything, but yeah, you have to use a double tight end set. You need to use the fullback Ingold to come over there and help chip, the running back to help chip. If you can get an 11 formation and just use your running back to help chip and you can get away with that with him, that's fine too. But I don't want to shy away from anything with Bosa. I want to, if I'm going to run or attack their offense, I just want to go right at him. I'm just going to run right at him. Yeah, that's
probably you. You definitely don't want him. I agree. Most of those aggressive guys, as weird as it is, it's better to go at them because sometimes it can overgo and you can cut up in there, especially if you're running and stuff. And if he buys a pass or whatever, that'd be a great plan. Well, Bosa, I admit, Bosa. I'm old enough to remember John Bosa for the Miami Dolphins. That's how old I am, and I remember him. So I remember their dad. Yep. So. He
was nothing compared to his kids,
he was nothing. He was decent, but he just had an injury history on him. He could just never stay healthy. He wasn't really a bust, but he just never could stay healthy, unfortunately. Yep. And he was an okay pick, but nothing like his two boys.
Yeah, absolutely not.
I know the one in the Chargers. I always get their names. I know Nick, so I only worry about each week. Nick Bosa's this week. Yep. So the Chargers one, he gets banged up, kind of like his dad from time to time.
Bosa, he gets hurt.
Yeah, so Nick Bosa, though, he just scares me. I admit, of all the guys we've gone against this year, Myles Garrett, scared me, and then we hardly even mentioned his name, but we had Armstead in the game, so it's a big difference,
Yeah, man, I was really scared about going up against Garrett. But Armstead handled his business
Yeah, I know. You hardly even knew that, these guys were in the game. Until the end of the game, they're when Tua he was mic'd up talking to a couple of them. I'm like, oh my god, I almost forgot they were even in the game, and Clowney and all that. I didn't even know they were in the game because our offensive line played so well that week.
Right.
I'm gonna open my door here and see if that helps the Wi-Fi a little bit.
Yeah, go ahead. Do you remember that in that?
My dog. That means my dog.
Oh, that's all right, bro. Don't worry about it. Eventually, you'll meet my dogs. My dogs will come all jumping in the screen here.
I know. Well, it's still not helping the Wi-Fi that much. I was hoping it would give a better signal, but no. I'm going to have to do something because, like I say, I overtook because this is my son's room that's gone away to college.
Right.
Go Gators. My money goes to UF. I was never a huge Gator fan, but hey, our money goes there. So me and my wife,
cash goes.
This is a Dolphin shirt, but I actually got some Gator shirts now because
hell yeah,
my money goes there. But he's up in Gainesville, so I made, like he used to say when he was home trying to do homework, the Wi-Fi sucks in my room. You're just a complainer.
Now you know it does.
Yeah, now I know it does. I'm gonna have to work on this if we want to do this show every day.
Right.
It's all right. This is a learning process.
You just got to make small adjustments, bro. It's okay.
Yeah, make small adjustments. Because yesterday we were fine in this room until the repair guy came and made all the noises, but. Today is saying connection is unstable. So sorry, guys, if you're watching, I may have to keep this short today because we don't really have too much to talk about. If you guys seen, there's not much Dolphin news flowing. The Dolphins fly out today. I don't know what time they're. The Dolphins do fly out today.
Yep. So, other than that, all the Dolphins fans are really excited for this game and ready to get this thing on.
Yeah. And Justin, let's do a little promo for you since my internet connection's bad. Someone wants that jersey you have on. What's the best way? What's the best way to get that jersey?
Right there, man. Follow me at JPF Scout on Twitter. Send me a direct message. we will link up and work out all the details on there. Just like anything on this, usually the turnaround's like 3 to 4 weeks, give or take. It's in the holiday season right now. The shipping is terrible right now, so don't get me on that. But I'll hook you up. Give me a direct message. We got the nice stuff at a cheap price. We'll hook you up. Just give me a direct message.
Yeah, that looks sharp. Is that 39? It looks like
yeah. This is a Zonka.
Okay,
yeah,
there
Zonka.
it is. That's
yes.
nice. Yeah. That's nice. You may get Steve, if he's still in there. I mean, you may get Steve wanting a Zonka.
Hell yeah.
So, because that's like Steve's era watching the players.
Oh, man,
stuff.
I loved Zonka. Going back to the game, do you remember after the Browns game, what Myles Garrett said about the Dolphins offense?
Oh, yes. And they knew what they were, the coach seemed to know what they were going to do, which I loved.
He said they had so many scripted plays written up, like he didn't know, like they were just lost, bro, because we had so much for them. They didn't even know what they were looking at anymore.
I know that was great. I love hearing that kind of stuff,
right.
It just feels good to hear like that we got a coaching side that people seem to admire, and they're like,
right.
Because that's teams like that. That's like what Belichick used to drive people crazy like that. It's like, oh my God, they knew like what we were going to do before we were doing it during their heyday. Mm-hmm. So it's good to have our coaching stuff that we have, that people are starting to say that kind of stuff.
Exactly.
That's how it was back in the Shula day. Always knew
man. I think
Shula would always be prepared, man. It's good to have a coach that seems to always be prepared now. And it seems like McDaniel, of course, I'm not comparing him to Shula yet, but it's just he does seem prepared, and we do make adjustments if we have to and stuff. So it's been solid.
Right. But more about this Niners game, man. Like the more I'm starting to think about it, I know both teams are outside zone heavy, but don't forget that they do run some inside zone. I think there's some mismatches that we could take advantage of right there. Let's not sweep it under the rug that Eric Armstead's coming back from an injury. If we were to muddy up the middle of the tackle box and run some more inside zone, I think we might have a better chance of Jeff Wilson having more success. I would bring a sniffer from both sides. I would use double motions. I would use single motions. I would use Joe motion. I would use orbit. I would use jet sweep. I would use everything to get those linebackers out of position that I possibly could, because that's going to be the key to winning this game, is getting the linebackers out of the middle or work the outside of the numbers, which we really just don't do that a lot. You might see a lot of smoke screen, bubble screen, things like that as well.
Yeah, man, they might, like you said, but you definitely know the Dolphins, they use more motion than anyone. But unfortunately, the guy we're going up against knows all that motion, and they know how to prepare for it. So
that's right.
It's just going to be a battle of wits and what have you, because I think they're the top two teams in motion across the league.
They are. Dolphins are number one. The San Francisco 49ers are number two.
Yeah, so it's like. So they're like, oh, I've seen that before, Bubba. I know what you're trying to do here. But, they still got to go with them. It's a good thing. It's just that we got to still find a way to – we just got to do what we do well. And, that's what good teams do, because good teams, they do what they do well every week in and week out. If the team knows it's coming, everyone knows that Patrick Mahomes is going to toss a damn ball around the field, and it's just up to you to stop it. And that's how we got to get to that level where, like, okay, they know what's coming, but we're still going to do it,
Yeah, exactly, bro. I agree with what you just said wholeheartedly. Like they know we're gonna pass, but can you stop our passing attack?
Yeah.
Like here's a snidbit I kind of thought I'll give everybody, and I kind of just hit my mind and thought about it. We're all wondering if T Steady's going to play this game. Well, our next opponent, like you said, Nick Bosa, Joey Bosa, which one? Joey Bosa is actually hurt in this game and not going to play, I don't think, versus the Dolphins. Right. Now, I have this scenario I just been kind of throwing through my mind. What if the Dolphins' plan is, which we don't want him to miss no games, of course, but if Armstead plays versus the Niners, but then sits versus the Chargers?
Yeah, that could be, could be, like I say. But, like you mentioned earlier, he is listed as doubtful. So I don't know. Yeah. We'll see. If he's healthy enough to go, we'll play. And, we definitely need them. You just see the difference. I don't want to beat that horse again. It's just, we just keep on hitting that. But it's just, it's such a downer. It's good to see your moods change throughout the whole week, though, because the first couple of days after that, you were almost, I had to keep on reminding you that we won the game, but you almost felt like it was a loss.
Yeah, I did, just because of what happened with our left tackle. But you know what? That's going to happen. This is football. People are going to get hurt. Like it's just another telltale sign of a. Think about the rich are getting richer. The Chiefs just picked up Brandon Williams, the nose tackle, former Raven, and Melvin Gordon. See what I'm saying? Like teams are just starting to stack up right before your eyes, and like you'll turn around and one time you'll be like, "Oh, I thought that dude was on the street." No, he plays for the Chiefs now, or he plays for the Bills. Like don't think the Bills aren't out there scouring the waiver wire and the people's practice squads looking for someone to replace Von Miller, because they could possibly be doing just that.
Yeah. Oh no, I'm sure they are. Just like we had looking for offensive linemen once Armstead. I mean, that's just what the teams do, especially this time of year when you roll into December and you're trying to make that next so you can play farther into January than you normally do. So and hopefully all the way to the first weekend in February or second weekend, whenever.
Yeah.
So you got to just keep on making your roster better.
Yep.
And
you got to keep on keeping on.
Bottom of the roster, because you're not going to get a star at this point, the top of the roster. But if you make your bottom of the roster better as the weeks move forward, that still helps the team. So
absolutely,
you might find a special team ace that could change the game around, or you just never know. It's just crazy. So,
but yeah, man. Before we get any further along, I want to give my buddy here a quick shout out. If you want to catch some great articles, great Dolphins content, please go check out dolphinsthirsty.com. It's a great website with awesome aqua and orange news up there every day, you guys. This dude works hard at it. He's got a great website. Go check it out.
Thank you, man. See, you're better promoting than I promote myself, so that was awesome. It sounded perfect.
And why I'm at it, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and that like button. Come join us here daily to talk some Dolphins. We're going to have some of you guys coming on the show as we can work out the scheduling and the times with everybody's work schedule and all. We want you guys to come in and interact with us. Tell us what you think about the Dolphins. Maybe you've been at the game. Share your live game experience. There's a lot of cool things going on out there in Dolphins land right now, man.
Oh, yeah, and I'm loving it all along the way. So it's been a fun ride so far this year.
Hell yeah.
So we'll see. Like I said, I'm a little disappointed with my internet today, so I'm more focused and I'm letting Justin kind of do. I'm getting distracted because I'm like I say, I'm the writer, the producer. Oh, and I just lost Justin. Our internet is bad today. I'm sorry, Dolphin fans out there, but if you can like and subscribe, we'll work on getting this all fixed. And just wait for Justin to get here. He comes again. Here he comes again. All right, you're back.
Every show, right, will lose me right at the end.
Yeah, I know. Like I say, I'm going to wrap up a little early today just because of the internet problem. I'm going to test walking around my house later with my laptop here and try to find a better spot maybe for the Wi-Fi, because this is all Wi-Fi, and for whatever reason, I guess this part of the house, it's not like I have a mansion or anything, but I guess I'm farther out I got walls between me and the router, so it's like, I guess, it's a little wonky. No excuses though. We're just here to talk Dolphin.
That's right.
That's why, this is a learning process for all of us. The fun thing is this Dolphins being Dolphin fans, all things fins up all the time. So
that's right, man.
We're gonna have a good time. So I know we've been pushing this off, but it's Friday now and it's almost prediction time. I know you can make one more excuse because you got a show tomorrow, but I'm going to put you on the spot here and make you make a Friday early prediction. And what do you think? Who's going to come out winning and an approximate score?
You want an approximate score?
Yeah. There's all
right. Well, it's good. If you've heard me talk, and anybody who does know me, I've been talking about this game all week. It's going to be a tough fought, grimy game, defensive battle. I don't think there's going to be a lot of points scored. Now I could be wrong. I think it has a chance to go blowout for both sides if the teams don't handle their business right away up front. But I think it'll be a defensive battle, so I don't think it'll go that way. I think you're going to need a special teams touchdown or a defensive touchdown in order to win the game. My real prediction is going to be this right here. Dolphins win the game 18-17 in a burner.
Wow. I was going to say very close. I was going to say Dolphins 20, 49ers 17. And that's like fingers crossed, hoping it goes well. And thank you, Fins Talk Sports Network. You're a great network. And I'm definitely going to have to call you up or get you on DM and Twitter and figure out what you do when there's Wi-Fi issues and whether or not some other questions I have for you. Because that's a great network. Make sure you find Fins Talk Sports Network.
Oh, yeah, dude.
YouTube, guys.
Go subscribe to that channel.
Yeah, Fins Talk. We had a few people in here earlier, Fins Talk, and I just started having wonky internet. That's a word that Justin and I used to like to use. It's wonky. Right. It's like in and out. So
that's crazy. You had the same score prediction for the Niners side as I did.
I know it is. It's great. We had him scripted together, but I was thinking, and that's me keeping my fingers crossed. I am a little bit worried this week. That's more like me wearing my Dolphin cap and my Dolphin shirt more than anything else, because I know we're 4-point underdogs, which doesn't mean, which basically means we're like a 1 point, because they give 3 points for home field, they say in Vegas or whatever. Like I said, I'm not big, but I always hear that old theory that they kind of give 3 points for home field.
So, yeah, but man, that's a dead giveaway when you see that -4 up there, bro. As soon as I seen that -4 up there, I was like, ooh, damn, this is a good game to bet on. Because that's a dead giveaway right there, bro. I think if I see any game at -4, I'm like, oh, something's up there.
Yeah, so we'll see. It's going to be a tough game, and I think if it was in Miami, we would probably be favored by about the same that they're favored, I would probably imagine, unless they just really think the 49ers are a better team. But
I think we'd be favored by 3.5, something like that.
Yeah, so it's basically a home field they're giving them. So.
That's right.
But, we'll see. It should be a good game. And like I said, all you guys, thank you. Sorry for the poor internet. We're going to normally we like to go like 45 minutes to an hour. But with my internet issues today, we're going to keep it short. So anything else you want to add other than, of course, subscribe and like and tackle the subscribe button for Dolphin Thursday. We're going to be trying to get better as we go along here. And also, if you have time, flip over to the Fins Sports Network, Fins Talk Sports Network. They're another great network. That's all things Fins. And Justin, you got a show tomorrow, I know, on that network.
Yeah.
So what time's your show tomorrow?
Tomorrow we have a show at 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. It'll be me and Dr. Reggie Brown, the co-host of Digging in the Trenches. He does a great job with me. We're going to, talk about the 49ers, break down some matchups, stack some bricks, talk some ball.
All right, sounds good. I know that, they have a good show at noon tomorrow, too. On the
yeah, they've got an awesome show on before me, too. What's the show they have right there? So many, I forget the name.
I can't even keep it, but I know they have Bobby's on it and Hank.
That's right.
I don't know the name of the show. I'm bad, but it's at noon on the Fins Talk Sports Network. So anyway, I'm going to end this because my internet's bad, and after this, I'm going to go do an internet test around my house and see where I get the signal the strongest. So by next Monday, when we talk about the Dolphins' victory, I'll be full strength on the Wi-Fi signal here. All right, Justin. Well, thank you. Have a great week.
Hell yeah, we'll get it worked out.
Yeah, we'll get it worked out, and I would join in for your show tomorrow. And we will have a lot more to talk about Monday after a game,
Absolutely.
This is Friday. How's news coming out today? Other than rumors and speculation on who's playing and who's not playing, but we don't know any better than anyone else. So Sunday, we're going to have a lot to talk about.
Yes, we will.
All right. So see you Monday. Have a great weekend. Fins up as always. And like I said, I let you close out as I get ready to figure out my wonky internet.
Right. All right, you guys. We'll catch you guys later. Thanks for tuning in. Fins up as always. And just remember, he who laughs last laughs best, baby. Yeah, Dolphins #1.
First kick, I snap into action. When I'm digging in the trenches, get dominated off the line of scrimmage. Read and react quick to make it early diagnosis. Hit you with the quick release like Marino Danny dopeness.